ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing to you?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
The Star Fantasy League Show puts you in control of your own team. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprung, and co-host SFL CEO Zach Stanley and Nick Steblenko. The Star Fantasy League Show is on the air now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here on 105.5 The Team in Rochester. I am Jonathan Sprung, your host, joined, as always, by SFL CEO, Mr. Zach Stanley.
It's good to be back, John. It's good to be back with both of you, TB2. And I've also decided that I won't be selling my company. Oh, wait, no, maybe I will be selling my company. No, I'm actually not going to sell my company.
I don't understand what the heck's going on.
What the heck are you talking
I
about?
don't even know where this is coming from.
You're going to sell this radio show?
It's Donald Sterling.
Oh, that guy. I was like, what are you don't sound...
Didn't you see that he's back in the news again?
You don't sound racist enough to be Donald Sterling.
That's right. I think I'd have to make a comment for people to force me out of this bad boy.
Well, we can't have any African-American guests on the Star Fantasy League show because of you. Thanks, Donald. It's really rude.
No, I'm not Donald.
Oh, but you're being Donald.
Yes.
All right, you know who's not racist and who's not being Donald Sterling? TB2. Nick Steblenko.
See, look I just had a nice little boost in my intro there because everything was positive.
I'll say because you're not a
I was
racist
not
jerk.
a racist, and I am not a jerk.
Hold on, and on top of that, I got more nice things to say. You did beat me last night. You put up a nice giant score on StarFantasyLeagues.com, but I almost came back. I was down like 20 points with 4 pitchers to go, and I almost got you.
That's true.
So
yeah.
it's 3-2?
It's 3-2.
It is 3-2.
But,
I mean, last night was actually a really fun night. I was really excited about that with the number of pitchers that were going. I mean, top-level pitchers that were going last night. It turned out to be a good one, and I think we saw a couple of gems.
Yeah,
Nick's turned into a bit of a powerhouse.
I mean, all the games are competitive, I'd say now.
Check out my biceps.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. What we did on the Star Fantasy League show yesterday, Zach, you weren't here, is we broke all the pitchers into 4 different tiers based on salary and skill level and all that good stuff. Somehow terrible pitchers still ended up on this list because they're horrible. We picked 1 pitcher each from these 4 tiers, and we're going to go over it because, we preach accountability on this show, so we kind of have to actually see how we did.
I have a little accountability that I have to own up to myself.
Oh, good. I love this.
The Thunder are back in the series.
Yes, they are.
However,
did you say the word sweep like 12 times last week?
First of all, I said there was a chance that he'd win a game. Second of all, nobody knew the Sabaka thing was coming, so I plead mercy.
Did we really not know it was coming, though? Like, did we really expect him to be out for the entire series?
They said he was going to be out for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean...
Playoffs?
This is just another bold-faced lie. Like, it's crap.
It's strategic injury.
You think this was a Bill Belichick move? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's strategic crappery. Yes.
I don't know if Scott Brooks has the audacity to pull something like that off.
Especially
I
against
think so.
Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich might murder him if he finds out it was a lie.
He just pulled a pop. He just pulled a Popovich. Just a bold-faced lie to the media.
And Popovich got teed up, which was awesome.
I love Pop. His interview
he got teed up.
So good.
The Spurs were down 12 with 6 minutes to go in the game, and he did not bring any of the starters back.
I know. And then he said things in the media about, I'm not worrying about that. Stop it. But we'll definitely talk about that today in Jonald's mailbag. We got a bunch of different stories to touch on. We are going to do some accountability in the first segment of the day, followed by a lineup breakdown. And we also have a long time of just breaking down Major League Baseball for Thursday on StarFantasyLeagues.com.
You made that sound very boring. This
No.
is exciting.
It is exciting.
Baseball.
But I'm saying we're going to be analytical. We're going to get down to it. We're going to give you general strategy.
This
We're
show
going to be
flies
in-depth.
by. It's not a long time.
No, it's not.
We need to talk more.
You know what? Then let's just get into it. Let's talk about accountability. Like I said on yesterday's show, I can say yesterday now. Isn't that great being on 105.5 in Rochester? I can say yesterday, today,
We don't
tomorrow.
have to worry about that stuff anymore.
Thanks, Scott.
We've moved on.
Wow.
He's still listening, by the way. Hey, Scott. How's it doing?
We're in a better place now, and we're very thankful to be here.
This is true. All right, let's go over to yesterday. We broke these up into 4 tiers for all, I believe it was 30 pitchers.
Yeah.
Ay. All right, tier 1 was all the aces between $15,000 and $20,000 on StarFantasyLeagues.com. I went with Chris Sale, but I didn't actually roster him, and he did terribly. not terribly, but for
Well,
his
so
salary.
Who was the top performer out of
The
the
big
top
boy
tier?
was Zach Greinke. He was actually in all of my lineups. Got 11.85 fantasy points. I think he had like 12 Ks.
I watched a good chunk of that game. He was locked in, and he has been locked in lately.
He gave up 2 runs late in that game, right? Like the 7th or the 8th inning.
You know that you have a pitcher that's locked in when he misses his spot just barely and gets furious about it.
Yeah.
And who'd you have in that top tier?
I had John Lester. I
Got
think
6.8.
he did pretty fair.
Not
yeah.
the best, not the worst.
He he got hit a little bit more than I thought he was, but he did end up coming up with 7 strikeouts. So
All right,
pretty solid.
second tier. Tim Hudson was the most expensive. I ended up going with him because Jason and I both loved Tim Hudson. Ended up getting 9.8 and was not the king of that tier. Surprisingly, it was Lance Lynn.
Yeah, I got to be honest, I just don't know how much longer Tim Hudson can keep up that performance. He's a ground ball pitcher, so that's great. He has a great defense behind him. He's got the best team in baseball right now in terms of record. Yep, San Francisco's number 1.
Ooh.
And I just don't see how he can continue that. Even he doesn't think he can continue that. Either way, hats off to Timmy for
Is that what he
giving
said?
it. Yeah, he was
Who'd
like,
you
I don't know
have?
how much longer.
We're talking accountability. Who'd you have?
Pretty sure I had Lance Lynn.
Did you really?
Pretty sure.
Oh, good. Shout out for you.
Although I put Cole Hamilton
There you go.
instead.
But
Wily
no,
veteran Tim Hudson absolutely dealing right now. Very refreshing either way.
Good for him. Hats off.
the third tier of the night had one of the weirdest lines I've seen. Colin McHugh was the overall high scorer of the night for pitchers, 12.85. I guarantee on StarFantasyLeagues.com, if anybody owned him, they're lying.
I wish I had stuck to my guns. I really think that he should have been in tier number 2 because he has been pitching very, very well this season. Instead, I went with Matt Garza.
McHugh's just not good, though.
What are you talking about? Okay, we can get into it later if you want.
His advanced
I'll
stats
pull up
all
a whole
point to the
bunch.
fact that he's just not that good.
Sure, I'll pull it all up and I will disprove
All right,
everything you just said.
I went with
He's a great pitcher.
I went with my boy Elias, got 2.2. He absolutely failed me. You said you went with Matt Garza.
Sure did.
Who got 8.3. Good for you.
Not too bad. Yeah, he had a pretty nice matchup.
And the last tier, Wade Miley, our boy who we like to troll on, got 9.5 points. He won. He won tier 4. Jason and I agreed with Edison Volquez. He got 4.95 for the money. Actually, he had a pretty good outing.
Got to think Wade Miley's going to be jumping up a little bit.
Stop that.
You can't keep. He's not going to.
He's
He's not going to stay down.
bad.
He's not going to stay down in those
He's
lower
a home
tiers.
run. He's a home run queen. That's all there is to it.
Wow.
I mean, he throws up the long ball. That's all there is to it.
So clearly we missed. That's what happens. We picked a bunch of. We're going to start doing this on Mondays on the Star Fantasy League show. I actually think this is a pretty cool segment. We get to break down all because usually it's about 15 games on Mondays. So we'll do it. But first, we got to get into this whole lineup breakdown.
Were the tiers largely dictated by salaries?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was all up to Nick. So Nick's all about that.
It's all about me.
If you have any complaints, tweet at SFL Nick. Just do it. All right, we got to get a quick lineup breakdown.
Let's do this.
Time for your Star Fantasy Leagues MLB Fantasy Lineup Breakdown.
All right, for Wednesday on StarFantasyLeagues.com, we don't have time to spiel. We just have enough time for me to run down my lineup, and you guys can let me know how I did. I'm down 2-3 to Nick, which is really depressing, but I think I have the right idea. Jason and I on yesterday's show kind of agreed on the whole Chicago White Sox, Cleveland, just mash as many players from that one game together and see what happens.
You guys are going blows. This could be tight in September.
No,
I'm
we're gonna
I'm
make
excited. Yeah,
separation.
NBA. I kind of felt like Pop at the end. I just rested my starters and saw what happened.
Oh, that's how it happened.
You ran away with it.
All right, let's get right off the top. My center position. He's starting at center, 6'3" from Nebraska, Tyler Flowers. I wanted to get a nice little chunk of change saved, putting him in. He's 39-32. StarFantasyLeagues.com.
He's your starting center.
Yep.
I don't know what that means.
He's
Are we
rebounding.
talking about baseball?
I said that by accident one time on the show, and I got to say it periodically
Okay.
to keep the joke
you
alive.
have to keep repeating your
Yeah,
mistake.
correct.
Okay.
He's a pretty nice value start. He's hanging around less than 5,000.
Four,
right?
less than
So
four.
yeah, I mean he's a good value start for the matchup. I like that. That's a good one.
I was just saying, I love everything about this TJ House Hector Noesi matchup, just because Noesi is bad against both lefties and righties, and TJ House is as well. Despite only having 2 starts, he just isn't very good.
Most likely we're going to see a lot of runs in that game. So if you pick guys in this matchup, you just got to hope that they all hit.
You know what?
Along with the Texas game, I think is there one other game that's around that? That San Diego game that's at an over/under of 9. Noesi has just been coughing up runs.
Yep,
run ball.
But to be fair, Noesi's going to cough up probably 4, 5, 6 runs, but I think House could do the same thing. This could be a 6-5 matchup. Could be higher than that. That's why I'm basically sticking to this game.
Absolutely.
I got for some more value because I wanted to get as many good pitchers in tonight because I felt like there was a high and a low, and I didn't want to touch any of the bargain basement pitchers. So I went with Paul Konerko, 3,500 minimum. If he is in the lineup, obviously we have a couple hours until lineups lock, so we will find. This is an 8 o'clock game, I believe, so you will find out before that happens if he's actually in. But if he is, perfect value play.
Yeah, it's important to make sure that he's in the lineup, though. I mean, like you said, perfect value. Just make sure he's in.
He's a switch guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that'll work out either way, as long as he's in there.
Yep, not to mention TJ House so far given up close to 2.5 home runs per 9. That's a pretty number because Konerko
really
just
good.
likes to jacket.
That's over what? One start?
That's over 2 starts, but that's over 2 starts and more appearances than that.
Okay.
So that's
enough.
appearances total. Also from that same team, I'm all over the Chicago White Sox. Gordon Beckham at second, 66.06. I'm basically just going pretty much 2 through 6 on this lineup.
You found a lot of value on that White Sox lineup. So, and the game is in Chicago, correct?
Correct.
So another plus there is the great ballpark. So
yep, got it. What is it? U.S. Cellular Field. They change the names every 2 years. It's really annoying. All right, so on the other end of that game, I went with I believe 3 Cleveland starters as Drupal Cabrera at shortstop, 61.75. Another guy. He's been fairly hot recently.
I considered putting him in, but I found I really wanted to reach up for Jose Reyes at the shortstop position. Toronto's on fire right now. They are easily one of the top offenses in the league. They're 9-1 in their last 10 games, on top of the AL East. Jose Reyes is leading it off, and I don't know. I think the value speaks for itself.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling people would go for that game, so I avoided.
But what about
game.
Chris Archer?
What about him?
Meh.
He can put together some good games.
He can, but you know what? He's one of those guys that's kind of up and down. He's all over. It
almost seems like with Toronto lately, regardless, you're going to get a couple blasts.
That's what I mean.
All right,
so why not? Stack it up.
I got to run through the rest of this lineup. My other Cleveland guys are Michael Brantley, who was I believe he was my play of the day.
Yep.
Yeah, he was my play of the day, along with Jordan Lyles and the entire Indians. So that makes sense. And David Murphy's my other Indian. I got Matt Joyce, which was Jason's value play of the day, 58.12. And Adrian Gonzalez, another guy that we had as one of the plays of the day.
I love all 4 of those. Adrian Gonzalez, I think, is going to have a big game. So is Brantley and David Murphy. I just don't understand why. Again, I think I said this yesterday. Why is he hitting so low in the lineup? We'll see. He's still producing, so it should be a good one.
It's moving pieces. All right, my 4 pitchers, obviously Clayton Kershaw. I had to save some money to get him in. That's why I have my minimum guys.
Must start.
My value play of the day and my pitcher of the day, Jordan Lyles.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked him too. I think he got a good one there. He's got pretty good value all year long, and he's been a solid pitcher.
And the last pitcher who I think can be one of the top pitchers of the day, John Lackey.
Yeah, I have Lackey too.
Atlanta loves to strike out. Loves it.
I was surprised at one thing, Jonald. I can't believe he didn't put in Andre Ethier after we talked about him yesterday. He hit a home run last night, and he's been the value play beyond Pablo Sandoval.
He's getting back in the swing of things right now.
Yep, he's been great. Fantastic.
No, I don't have to listen to your silly things
That's
you
fine.
say.
I'm going to take all advantage of that.
All right, you're going to take advantage when we come back from the break. I'm going to take advantage of it being my segment, Jonald's Mailbag. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
The Star Fantasy League show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Jonald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy League's team by tweeting at SFL Show.
Won't you be our tweeter?
Read it.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple,
What, tweeting at SFL Show?
I'm pretty surprised that not everybody's on Twitter.
Okay.
These people need to catch up.
When they're like grandpas and grandmas on Twitter, you know that everyone's on Twitter. Everybody. All of them.
I would beg to differ. I think that if you traveled about 40 miles east of here, you would find a different story.
Buffalo?
East.
Oh. What? East. Oh, yeah, East. That shows you how much that's nothing. There's like nothing in the middle.
Yesterday we found out that Jonald is developing a Rochester accent.
That's not true at all.
That's very true.
Who determined that?
Jason pointed it out, and it was very noticeable.
The way that, I don't remember what the word
Congratulations,
was.
Jonald.
What was the word I said? Because I've said that word the exact same my entire life.
I don't know, but you're saying it like a
Same?
Rochesterian.
Same.
I don't have an accent.
You got an accent.
I'm really happy for you.
You guys are the worst.
Thanks for being a member of our proud community.
Thank you for being
Go,
a
Johnald. Go,
friend.
Johnald. You're in Rochester.
God. Okay. 105.5 The Team, our home. Just, okay, tweet us at SFL Show if you want to say Rochesterian things to me. I'll apparently understand them now.
Garbage plate.
Well, okay, I know where the best
White
garbage.
hot.
I know where the best garbage plate in town is. We've had this conversation on the air. Actually, no, we haven't had this on the air since we switched over to, the team. Should we have this conversation again in Jonathan's mailbag? Okay, question number 1 from me. What's the best garbage plate in Rochester? Go.
Penfield Hots.
Penfield Hots.
Why don't you guys give any love at all to Dogtown?
All right, Dogtown is wonderful, but I just don't like their chili meat sauce. I'm not a chili fan, and I know plenty of people that love it. So
And I kind
no
of
hate to Dogtown.
grew up on Pea Hots.
Yeah, so did I.
How did you grow
Well,
up on
we grew up
Penfield
together,
Hots?
so that kind of works.
I mean, that's near me. I live like 2 feet away from Penfield Hots.
there's-
Why are you going from Brighton? Why are you going to Penfield Hots?
Well, let's just be honest here.
Well, when you're 16 and you're watching PG movies and it's getting to be 10 o'clock and you need to go to bed, you want a garbage plate before then.
Okay, none of those things are actually what 16-year-olds do. So
Yeah.
that was a terrible
except for
story.
eating the garbage plate, that
Well,
definitely.
I am not about to incriminate myself on the air.
That is very, very smart, considering most of the people listening right now probably know you personally. Probably a bad idea. Don't do that.
A few of them, I'm sure.
Plead the fifth. We all plead the fifth. Let's move into Jonathan's mailbag before the Rochesterian police are on our case.
Shout out Pea Hots.
Yeah, I actually do like Pea Hots. I've gotten many.
I've never had a bad plate from Pea Hots.
I've had many an alcoholic beverage followed by a garbage plate there. They're delicious.
After
mix
a
this
cab
quite
ride
well
there
with
is what
beer.
you're saying.
Delicious.
Awesome.
All right, let's get right into it. Jody D writes, it looks like we have a series between the Spurs and Thunder, and both teams will be fighting hard to win Game 5. What will the Spurs need to do to bounce back? They just
Nothing.
got annihilated.
They don't have to do anything? Are you serious?
No, they don't have to do anything.
All right, I have a serious question. I turned this game off when it was like, 23, 25, and then all of a sudden I looked at the score and it was like 10 again? What happened?
This has happened to the Spurs so many times.
Well, yeah.
They've been in this position before. They know how to bounce back.
Well, they still need to do something.
Well, yes, they're going to make adjustments, but there's nothing drastic that needs to be done here.
Well, that was a question. What adjustments do they need to make?
None. Oh, wait. No, yes, they do.
Nothing drastic.
They need to figure out why Serge Ibaka's presence has changed the series.
It's Steven Adams, baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Almost 30 minutes a game out of that Steven Adams. Good job, Kiwi.
I mean, it's...
I don't think that the Spurs are going to blow this series. I don't think that it's going to happen.
Well, can we say that we were both really wrong about Serge Ibaka's presence? We were. We both said that it meant nothing in the series, and it clearly does.
Well, Westbrook also scored 40 points.
Okay, yeah, but
No,
he's
hold
capable
on.
of doing that on any night.
Hold on. Not only did Westbrook score 40 points, 45, 10, 5 steals, and 1 block. That is one of the most disgusting
The
stat lines of the
implosion
playoff
is
game.
coming. It always happens. Russell Westbrook is going to put up a dud, and he's going to keep jacking up duds, and he's going to ruin one of these games.
Yeah, you know what?
Zach's keeping the faith.
You know what the adjustment should be for San Antonio? Just let him shoot. Just continue to let him shoot. One of these games, he's going to go 7 for 22.
I mean, how much do you think?
Why would you do that?
How much do you
He's
think the
dropped-
Spurs actually care that it's going 5 and that it could go 7? I don't think they care at all.
For all the hate that we've thrown towards Russell Westbrook, the fact is he has had a very, very, very good playoffs so far.
Okay.
He's routinely dropped 30 points.
He's an unbelievable.
He just dropped 45.
He's an unbelievable athletic talent. He's a ball hog. There were 19 possessions last night where he didn't let go of the ball.
19?
Yes.
You counted them?
It was on a stat. I'm sure he didn't
Yeah.
watch it.
I got confirmation, Nick.
All right. All I'm saying is the fact he's doing something right.
Are you saying you're
dis-
turning your Russell
No,
Westbrook
I'm
tides?
not. No. Listen, if I was assembling a team, Russell Westbrook would not be on that team unless he was the only scorer on that team.
Which means he wouldn't be on
so
your
he
team.
would not be on my team. But whatever he's doing a good job of it because the Spurs have allowed them to come back in this
Well,
series.
they're basically not even paying attention to him. They're like, you know what, Russ, beat us. Go
So
ahead.
he's
Like,
being
have fun.
him, and he's doing a good job of it. And they have now won 2 games in a row against the team we feel is going to the NBA Finals.
I'm still sticking by it. Miami, San Antonio.
Are you wavering?
What do you?
Are you
How
saying-
can you not?
So you're saying that you're thinking that the Thunder are going to win this series?
How can you think that they don't have a chance at least?
I
think that they don't have a chance.
I just said I don't think that they're going to win.
Well,
said
I don't think that they're going to lose. But that doesn't mean anything. Or you make your
So
statement.
you're saying that right now at 2-2, you're taking the Thunder. Is that what you're saying?
If you're going to put your foot down that you're taking San Antonio, I will absolutely do that.
Because at the beginning of the series,
you are hands down saying that
at the beginning of the series, when it was tied 0-0, you took the Spurs, and now it's tied 2-2, and you're jumping off the boat.
My point is that you are saying they don't have a chance, that they're not even close, that the Thunder don't have a shot. The Spurs are hands down going to roll the rest of the way.
All right, hold on. I feel like we're just in a roundabout here.
I
just
feel
keep
like
going
I did
around
not say that
and
they
around.
don't have a chance.
Okay, what's your take on this series moving forward? Go.
I think that the Spurs are going to win next game.
Okay.
The Thunder might win Game 6.
No mights, no maybes, none of that.
He's saying San Antonio in 6 or 7 is what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's not a solid prediction.
Oh, my God. Okay.
San Antonio in 6 or San Antonio in 7. What are you saying? I say Thunder in 7. I'm saying it. There you go.
Okay, I will take the Spurs in 7.
All right, there we go. We have it.
Great. I've already said this 10 million times. All right, we're moving on. Brad R. writes, the Rangers and Canadians combined for 11 goals on Tuesday night in Montreal. With the series heading back to New York, what do you put the Canadians' chances at to even the series and force an improbable Game 7?
I think there is a possibility.
Why don't we just wind up another chance for Nick to flip-flop, because that's basically what you're doing. He's going to say that the Rangers are going to win, even though at the beginning he said the Canadians were going to win.
Correct, you did. That's the truth. You did say the Canadians were going to win this series.
Yeah, you're right.
Jump
You
off
also
the ship.
didn't say Carey Price
Wait,
was
hang
going
on a
to
second.
die.
Yeah, I didn't say Carey. What are you talking about? After Carey Price got injured, I said that their chances completely diminished.
Okay, now we're going to flip-flop again.
You
now you're
can't
going to pick
predict
the Canadians.
injuries. You cannot predict injuries.
So are you talking about Serge Ibaka right now?
You can't predict an injury to him.
We're not going back.
I can't predict him
No.
coming back when they say he's out for the postseason.
Yeah,
Well,
was-
that's true.
That was
I didn't
bad.
say that you could absolutely predict that. I said that did we all truly 100% believe it?
I struggle to think. I mean, this is the game coming up. I think that if the Canadians can somehow put it together and get enough goaltending out of Tokarski to steal this game, they can go back to Montreal and win.
We can't even say that I mean, this series has just been full of surprises. I don't
Yeah, you
understand.
mean the home team not winning a game ever?
Yeah, that and 11 goals out of a team that's facing easily one of the best goaltenders in the league. Like 7 goals? Henrik, what? What happened?
What did you think about the fact? First of all, he got taken out in about the fashion that we have talked about previously. 4-1, middle of the second period. That's kind of in line with a pull in the goaltender move. However, when this game got closer, did you think there was a chance that he was going to come back in, and do you think he should have?
No, they don't. I don't know many coaches or any coach that would do that. Just because when things are going the right way, you don't really change them. You know, if the train keeps rolling, or if it even starts rolling, you let it go.
Would you have taken him out? Because they ended up making it
5-4.
making it end at one point 4-4 before the end of the second period.
I probably would have taken him out if it got to like 6-1. But I wouldn't have taken him out at 4-1.
6-1.
I wouldn't have taken
No,
him out.
seriously, because what are your chances of winning with a backup, Cam Talbot, versus Henrik Lundqvist?
You're basically throwing the game in the middle of the second period.
Some would say that you're not, though. I mean, the argument is that when you change a goaltender, you're just trying to spark your team. You know, and if you can do that with a backup goaltender, great. And the other thing is that you don't want Lundqvist to remember this game. You want to take him out, say, you know what, forget this game ever happened, come back the next game because you're obviously our starter. We're not changing anything. We're just getting you out because something isn't right. Whatever happened, we're going to change it.
Well, it clearly worked for Jonathan Quick because he did the same thing in that Anaheim series. Got pulled at the end of the second, and all of a sudden, look, they're 3-1.
Good point.
And that was, what, a 2-zip game?
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't getting beat. We were confused by that. Happened twice in a row. All right, we got to move on to this last question because this is a great one. I hope you saw this. Donnie M writes, did you see 50 Cent's first pitch for the Mets the other day? How is it possible to be in such good shape and not know how to throw a baseball? What is your favorite first pitch failure in history?
I had to watch a couple of them, but I found a couple of really good
Did you
ones.
actually, hold on, I want to know, did you watch this or did you see a clip of 50 Cent throwing the ball?
I saw 50 Cent. It was like 12 catchers to the left.
Okay, but his wind-up and his delivery, clearly he knew what he was doing, but he let the ball go, I don't know, about a full second before he was supposed to let it go. It just way too early.
Have you? Which other ones do you have in mind? Because John Wall comes to mind.
Oh,
That
John
one
Wall
was really bad.
Ugly.
I think Denard Robinson was the worst. He was the worst.
From Michigan?
Yeah.
Like
he
the
threw out the
quarterback?
first pitch at a Tigers game. He's a quarterback, and he threw a one-hopper to the catcher.
Did he try to throw it with the laces out? What was he doing? Was he confused?
I don't know. Something was wrong.
No, my favorite of all time is and always will be Carly Rae Jepsen because she just looked like such an idiot doing it. She threw it like directly at the ground and then was like, hee, I don't know what I'm doing. You're like, stop it. Why are you throwing the ball out?
It's funny that a physical specimen like Curtis Jackson can't go out there and throw a decent pitch, but George Bush can.
Okay, hold on.
George Bush loves his baseball.
We could spend about
He does.
20 minutes breaking down him throwing out first pitches because he throws heat when he does it.
He's not going up there to mess around.
No, they should. Why don't they throw like a bullpen session with these guys before? Like, hey,
Why?
can you
That's part
throw
of
a
the fun.
baseball?
That's part of the fun. What are you supposed to actually be able to get it over the plate all the time? It's a sideshow.
Well, you'd think that somewhere in the realm of the plate, that was headed into the dugout.
Yeah.
Yeah, what if he
And
hit
so
a
now
what if-
we have something to talk about.
Seriously,
the
yeah.
next day.
What if he hit a fan? Like, imagine if you're sitting in the crowd, you're like, "Oh, it's 50 Cent. I'm a big fan," and he just pelts you in the face.
The people that were right behind that throw were like almost delayed surprise.
Yeah,
that
because
it
they're
was-
like, "Did you throw
they're
it?"
like, wait, is it actually coming at me right now? Is that possible? I'm so far out of the way.
yeah.
It's
What
worth
do,
a good laugh.
what do
though.
you like better?
That's
The
fun
old.
of it.
What do you like better? The old player coming back and throwing one out there, like, "Oh, cool, it's our ex-player or whatever," or like random celebrity who has no idea what they're doing.
I like
Well, when you
the
put it that
idea
way.
of people from other sports more than like musicians.
That is usually fun because you're like, they should be athletic, and then they do it. You're like, oh no, they're not athletic at all. What are you doing?
Let's
It's
get Bam
baseball.
Bam Bigelow out there to throw a pitch.
Let's not do that ever. I'm pretty sure he passed away. But good effort, Zach. All right, coming after the break, it's time for MLB Breakdown for Thursday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. You're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at StarFantasyLeagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League Show with Donald, Teddy Bear 2, and the Deucey Moose. Only on the Team.
Before we get into baseball breakdown for Thursday on StarFantasyLeagues.com, we'd like to send out condolences to the family of Bam Bam Bigelow, who
I'd like to
Zach didn't know
apologize.
was dead.
It was inconsiderate, and clearly I need to curve my wrestling knowledge.
Yeah, maybe you should learn. Okay,
Or something.
Aren't you technically like friends with a professional wrestler, sort of, by like osmosis?
Who was that? Who was the guy that we just lost?
The Ultimate Warrior. You weren't friends with the Ultimate
No,
Warrior.
I wasn't friends with him, but I watched some videos of him, and I did a little mourning.
No, I was
And
talking.
if I had known about Bam Bam Bigelow, then maybe I could have done something.
Oh, I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. No, I was talking about Brody Lee, who you apparently know through people, who's a wrestler.
Brody Jenner?
What?
Who's
No.
Brody Lee?
He's a local Rochesterian wrestler, born and raised here.
John knows more about Rochester than I do, and he claims that he is not a Rochesterian now.
I just know who he is because I follow that stuff. We've spent way too much time talking
You
about
were
professional wrestling.
born in
on the show.
Rochester, wasn't he? He was born in Rochester.
I was born in Southeast Massachusetts. Thank you. That's why I'm a Red Sox fan.
That's the alias you came
I'm
up
sure
with. Huh?
Donald would know a wrestler from Tallahassee if there was one.
Yeah, probably.
Whatever, John.
Did you just think about whether there was
Yeah,
one?
I did. I was like, wait a minute. I don't actually know that much. When we play our games
You don't
on
know
our
the
show,
birthplaces of all the wrestlers.
yeah, we have a guy who knows every single thing ever, and it's kind of scary. Like, he worries me.
It's commitment.
He worries me.
People have passions, and some of them go over the top.
You know what? Our passion on the Star Fantasy League show, look, this actually comes back. Our passion is fantasy sports. We slave over these just numbers. There's too many numbers to look at. We put them into the right order, and we figure out who you should be drafting, who you should be avoiding, all that good stuff.
Nick's been benefiting from his knowledge, clearly.
I have.
I benefited personally from Jason being here yesterday. He threw some names out there that I may not have looked at before. So we only have an 8-game slate going on for Thursday, which means we actually get to break down every single one of these games instead of going, oh, well, I don't like these 4. These are 4 terrible games.
Yeah, well-
Anywhere that you guys want to start, because I know, Zach, you like to, if you like a stack, if you like a certain team. Let's see, who do you like? Where are we starting tonight?
I've got it in for Brad Peacock tomorrow.
You've got it in for Brad Peacock. And
Yeah.
tell me, what does that mean? You don't like him?
It
You
means
really
that,
like
it means
him?
that I'm stacking the Orioles.
Oh, yeah.
Peacock, 1.47 home runs per 9 innings since 2013. six walks per 9 innings this year.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
rough.
I thought that was like a joke number.
I feel like I'm just going to get gifted points tomorrow by stacking up the Orioles.
That's one of those numbers where you look at it and you're like, something's wrong here, and you start looking and you're digging and digging. I couldn't find anything wrong. That's
and you
a
go back,
stat.
you're like, oh, last year it was like 4, so it makes sense that in 28 innings he has 6 this year.
Well, it's funny. You look at the other numbers. Both Ubaldo and Peacock in that matchup have high strikeout rates. Cool, that's great. Have decent ground ball rates, fine. But, they combined walk 10.5 guys a game. So we're going to see lots of base runners in this game, lots of scoring, 9 over-under. It's the biggest one of the day. I actually am not opposed to putting like multiple people from both teams in this.
Yeah, the only
matchup.
unfortunate thing about the Peacock stack is that there's very few left. I just got my accent going.
No. You said the Peacock stack. Like, that's just awesome. That sounds like a theme park ride. It's the Peacock stack. Ride it.
I just there's too many righties in this lineup, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you know what? I found a couple that actually hit pretty well. Nelson Cruz is on fire this year.
Yeah, Nelson Cruz. I feel like he's an absolute must.
I can definitely see Chris Davis pulling one out tomorrow.
Yep.
Maybe 2.
Those are the 2 names I have. I think you have to go for big power. Bragg Peacock lets up a lot of home runs.
And Adam Jones can get the power going too.
He can, but I would stray away from him. He's actually not. He's one of those guys that's not that great against righties. So, I mean, it's up to you if you
he's struggled to pull it together some stretches so far this year.
I would go with Markakis and Hardy too.
Yeah, Markakis definitely I like leading off. He's a lefty, good matchup. I think he'll start it off for them really well at least a few times tomorrow.
I'm actually going to start Jimenez tomorrow.
Are you really?
Yeah, he's 8. He's at 8.5.
He's 8.5 years old. Shoe size? What are we talking about here?
His price tag is around 8,500. And he's facing a team that strikes out 7th most to righties, and their batting average is 26th against them. So it's a great matchup. Obviously he walks a lot of players, but
why would you do that when you can start Wade LeBlanc at 1,500?
Ugh, Wade LeBlanc.
Well, that's not going to stay.
Who has not seen the mound?
That's not going to be the same.
Has not seen the mound this year.
Yeah, no thank you. He's been terrible in his career.
And yet, he is still the favorite of the pitchers in this matchup against Maurer.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
No, I'm not letting you do this again. Maurer. 2 R's.
I said Maurer.
Maurer.
Maurer? No, you didn't.
You think it's Maurer?
It's Maurer. There's
Maurer?
2 R's.
No, not Maurer.
We already had this discussion.
Maurer.
Oh my God, this is awful. All right, if you're just
Angel stack.
Well, okay, wait. So hang on. Are you're taking any of the pitchers from that game?
No.
What? No, I'm taking the Angels' bats against
Maurer.
Maurer.
All right, Hal,
good.
before we do that, we have to, for those listening, hearing us mumble about Maurer, we're talking about Thursday's fantasy implications for baseball. Go ahead.
Okay.
I just wanted to tell you on startfantasyleagues.com, we're talking baseball.
5.67 XFIP versus righties and a 4.11 base on balls per 9, 39.8% ground ball percentage.
Do you do that again?
Base on
4.11?
balls? Did you really just say base on balls?
Base
walks per 9, 4.11
base
walks
on
per 9?
balls. That's
okay.
BB.
All right.
Walks.
Well, I said base on balls.
Nobody in the history of baseball
Okay, well,
said
if you look
base
up
on
the
balls.
stat, it doesn't say W, Jonald. It says BB.
That's wins.
Yeah.
Wins.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so we like the Angels stack as well. I feel like this is another one of these stack.
Hendrick, Trout, Pujols, Freeze, Bomb City.
How
I
about
think we're going to get a Poogie bomb tomorrow.
Yeah,
what
I like
about
that.
Iannetta? You interested in Iannetta at catcher? If he plays?
Yeah. I would rather go with Pujols and Trout.
Well, we'd all love to put in 2 guys at 9,000, Nick.
I was gonna
Well,
say,
yeah, and you can tomorrow.
I actually ended up.
That's true. You can get some value pitchers tomorrow. He's
Yeah,
right.
I ended up. Actually, you know what? I went with a different first, but I went with 2 first basemen, and neither of them are Pujols tomorrow. I went with David Ortiz, who I really, really, really enjoy his matchup. Mike Minor. He's on paper not the worst. 3.9 ERA, 8.1 strikeouts per 9, but all the other behind-the-scenes stats: 37% ground balls. That's horrible. 279 BABIP, also horrible. It means it's going to go up significantly. And 1.8 home runs per 9. That's the big number.
I think you got a Red Sox stack tomorrow because 1.8 home runs over 9, and his low ground ball percentage. Those are just a recipe for disaster.
Oh, hold on, and recipe for disaster. Add to it, they're in Boston.
Yep.
And anybody who likes going yard there is probably going to go yard in Boston.
I hate to say this because I don't live up to it. I rarely ever live up to this. But when you pick a team for a stack like 2 or 3 times in a row and they fail for you, don't shy away from doing it again if you see another favorable matchup.
Who's
Okay.
that?
I don't set the example, but I'm just saying.
That does make sense. I mean, you can't get frustrated.
Talking about that, I've done it with Boston a few times this year, and I've gotten very upset.
Yeah, you definitely can't get frustrated. If you're picking somebody and the stats say to do it, and then it goes
It happens
poorly,
all
just
the time.
keep doing
It's
it.
baseball. It's a game of stats. They're up and down. Any pitcher can come out with a good performance, but you got to look at the numbers and roll with them.
Boston's bouncing back right now. They had a 10-game losing
This is
streak.
a momentum
they won their
swing.
last two.
Yeah.
Like I said, Lester was the perfect pitcher to come on the hill last night to get their second win in a row, and I just think that if they get the bats going again, they'll have a fine time against Atlanta.
On top
again.
of the stack, I also have one of my pitchers of the day and my value play of the day in this game. I like Xander Bogaerts a lot. 415 WOBA against lefties. He's a little bit over 5,000. I think that's really good value.
Yep.
If you're putting him in, make him part of your Red Sox stack. And also Jake Peavy. He's just under 9,000 on StarFantasyLeagues.com. His stats are all right. They're not great, but again, Atlanta is a strikeout king. They're number one in the leagues at striking out, so that could be worth a couple extra points for Jake Peavy and a win.
I think David Freese is an excited value play tomorrow.
What?
He's at 4,500.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is. He's still batting fourth. He's been batting cleanup pretty consistently right now. They paid for this guy. They want him to get in the swing of things. I think he will.
Yeah, he needs to get it going, though,
Yeah,
for
he
that
does.
to happen.
Yeah, he would need to. All right, we need to move
He needs to get in the swing of things for him to get it going.
Yeah, thank you. That actually makes sense. All right, let's get to a game I don't think we're going to have much to talk about at all, and maybe we will. I'm not sure. Kansas City at Toronto. James Shields against R.A. Dickey. Is anybody touching anything in this game? Because I couldn't find anything that made me want to jump.
Yeah,
James Shields is solid, but he's in Toronto against Toronto bats.
Yeah, I like some of the Toronto bats because they have great numbers and they have a lot of data against him.
Okay,
Adam
so
Lind,
you're going with Zach's least favorite stat right now.
BVP.
Adam Lind has 51 at bats against James Shields, and he has 5 home runs. He's the best in the majors against right-handed pitchers.
Yeah, Lind kills it every time he's in there.
He kills it. And how can we not talk about Edwin Encarnacion right now? He has 10 home runs in his last 12 games. If anybody was on fire, it's him.
We
Hold
can
on,
talk about him.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we have to throw this in considering you just said that. George Springer hit another home run this morning in the early game for Houston. I believe that's 6 home runs in 5 days. He had 2 on one of the days. Definitely consider him against Ubaldo Jimenez because that guy gives up home runs as well.
He's a rising star right there.
Yeah, he's under 8,000. He's quickly rising. He'll probably be
Houston
10
needs
very
a few
soon.
of those.
Yeah, go Houston. We hope you can be relevant someday.
Yeah, that's the only guy I'll mention ever for Houston. Okay, move on. Sorry.
And other than that, Jose Bautista, he has really good numbers against Shields as well. I don't know. I mean, James Shields is pitching really well. You could probably find other batters across the board, but I don't know. I mean, Adam Lind is just on fire.
And
I can't shy away from him.
The concept of taking bats against a knuckleballer is so difficult.
All right, Dickey. Yeah.
Because you don't know when it's actually going to be working. Because when it's working to
It's
a T,
really good.
It's the same thing happened with Wakefield. He hovers around a 4 ERA. He has his good games. He has the games where he gets shelled, but it's so hard to predict which games those are going to be.
And he has seasons where you're like, how did you almost win the Cy Young, Tim Wakefield? What the hell are you doing right?
Yeah, I don't
That's like
understand
38
it either.
years old, too.
Well, and, that's why I wanted to roll out that one strategy where you kind of pick the leadoff runners against him. He walks a lot of batters, and, if you get a hold of one, then there you go. You got an extra run.
You can be a knuckleballer until you're 50.
All right, so let's close this out by talking about some of the pitchers we end up liking for Thursday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. You said you liked Ubaldo a little bit. I have him listed, but I didn't end up going that way. I love Jake Peavy. He's definitely one of my value pitchers of the day.
Let's take a look at San Francisco, St. Louis. You got a couple of good pitchers there. Ryan Vogelsong's the hottest pitcher right now out in the National League. He hasn't allowed a run in his past 2 starts. Not a single run in his past 2 starts.
That's pretty impressive, but he is playing. He is in a pitcher's ballpark, but it's against St. Louis. Their bats are pretty potent.
Over under is 7.5. I honestly think it could be down to 7, maybe even 6.5, because Jamie Garcia is actually a really good pitcher as well. So
I like Jamie Garcia a lot. High ground ball rate, high K rate, great XFIP right now, 2.32. I think he's going to get it going.
I mean, I think you could see very simply, you could see a 2-1 game, and both of these
a bit of a
pitchers could be
pitcher's
worth
duel
it.
for sure.
So, I mean, I would probably lean more towards Vogelsong just because he has a few more starts under his belt this year.
Yeah, but of some of the more expensive tiers, those guys are both relevant.
Yeah.
So there aren't that many crazy high pitchers on display on Thursday. Obviously, we got James Shields in there.
He's the top one, right?
Yeah, I believe he is the top one. So another guy that you could save a little bit of money with is Dan Herron at home for the Dodgers against Pittsburgh. Just under 12.5. all of his numbers are extremely solid this season. I think he could get a nice little cruise to an easy, probably seven innings.
Zach Wheeler, baby.
Yeah, you like Zach Wheeler
I like
too?
Zach Wheeler.
All right, we got a bunch to talk about coming up after the break. We're breaking down all of our top plays for Thursday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. We got value plays, we got stacks, we got it all for you. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show.
That's right. Tweet at us at SFL Show if you want to know our plays of the day, if you want to know anything that's going on. If you have two players you like but you're not sure who to start, just ask us at SFL Show on Twitter. We help you out. We're pretty good at that.
We're here.
Yeah?
This
We
is
are present.
This is exactly what we're here for.
I mean, that's the whole point. We're not here to just hear ourselves talk. We're here to help the daily fantasy sports community. If you need some help, that's why we're here. Pretty easy,
I probably won't respond to you if you give me crap, though.
No, I will. I will make sure to respond. I will include SFL Zach in my tweet back just to make sure he sees it.
Don't count on a foul back. You're not going to get it.
Yeah, I hate follow backs. That makes no sense. All right, let's get to our plays of the day. We got a play of the day for pitcher, batter, if a value play if you got one, and also a stack if you got one. Let's start with Nick.
All right, I'm going to start with my pitchers. Ryan Vogelsong. I think he's on fire right now, and I just think he's going to keep it rolling. He's got a matchup against St. Louis, so it is going to be a difficult one, but tomorrow night I don't see a lot of pitchers out there that I really love, so I'm going to stick with Vogie. My batter of the day is going to be David Ortiz at a little over 8,000. I think he is going to blast one on Mike Minor. I don't even think it matters that he's a left-handed pitcher.
No, it doesn't.
I think he's going to send one over the wall. Value play Johnny Gomes. I think he might also hit a home run tomorrow. He is at about 5,500.
Home runs for everybody on the Red Sox. Why not?
Then stack the Red Sox.
Yeah, surprise. All right, what do you got?
I'm going to go with the starter against Vogelsong and Jamie Garcia for the favored St. Louis Cardinals. And he is right around 12,000. I'm going to take Chris Davis as part of my Orioles stack, who's right around 8,700. And my value play is David Freese, right around 4,500.
All right, this is one of those weird days. There's only 8 games in the major leagues, and somehow we haven't fought. Normally in the commercial break between the last segment and this one, we fight over who we're actually going to pick, so we can all have different names. We haven't fought at all. We weren't clamoring to say I want this guy. So I'm going somewhere completely different for all these. My hitter of the day is Paul Goldschmidt, right around 8,500. I definitely think he has a big chance to go deep off Cingrani, who not good lefty. It's gonna be a splashdown in Arizona.
The only thing I don't like about that is that Arizona is just not very good from top to bottom in their lineup. But Paul Goldschmidt should have a fine day.
I don't care what the rest of the lineup does. He can jack out as many home runs as he wants.
You know.
Yeah, I wouldn't count out Cingrani on having a decent game.
Yeah, but he could have a great game.
D-backs?
D-backs their offense has been a little better than it was.
He's a guy that can get a lot of strikeouts. They could easily end up winning this game. If he gets a bunch of strikeouts and a win, that's all you need.
I'm not touching the pitchers. I'm just talking about Goldie. All right, my pitcher of the day for value and for top pitcher, Jake Peavy. Under $9,000 on StarFantasyLeagues.com against Atlanta. They strike out quite a bit, and I feel like he could be the benefactor of that.
Wheezy Jake Peavy.
Oh my! I saw him on a plane once heading to Chicago. He did not look happy. His wife's very attractive, though.
Oh, that's not surprising.
There you go.
That I know.
You baseball players out there.
I was going to go with the Boston stack, but I'll go with Seattle. I actually kind of like Seattle for a stack. If you're a little bit out in left field and you can't stack the other 3 teams we talked about. And my value play from those Boston Red Sox, Xander Bogaerts.
I'm surprised you didn't go with the Angels on that one. Why do you like Seattle more?
I just like Seattle.
You like Seattle?
Mm-hmm.
He's stacking Seattle.
Okay, Wade LeBlanc has 0 starts. He is atrocious against lefties. 398 WOBA is one of the worst WOBAs I've ever seen for a pitcher over his career against lefties. He's really bad.
You know what? We haven't really touched on it at all, but the when you don't see a pitcher, you don't know what his stuff is.
It's not that you haven't seen him. He's had a long career. He just hasn't pitched this year.
Well, has Seattle ever played against him? Most of those guys?
He was in the AL, so probably.
Well, watch Wade LeBlanc pull a rabbit out of a hat tomorrow.
If he does, I'm going to be a little confused.
I'm starting him just to do that.
Yeah, really. Take advantage. Thursday, there's going to be a $50 free roll. Just get in now. It's already up on the site. Actually, it's going to go up on the site in about 2 hours, I think.
Just be patient.
It's
coming.
It's coming.
The free money is coming.
$50 free roll. We're going to give you free money right away, though. Tweet us at SFL Show. $5 free in your account. It's pretty easy, right?
You could get in 3. Actually, you could get in 5 different games with that in our $1 games.
Wow. Or you can get
3 GPPs.
You can get as much as you want. All right, and if you guys didn't know that Bam Bam Bigelow was no longer with us, well, that's not very smart, and we'll help you make a better team next time. Take it easy, guys.